Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, we're here today to discuss the most current happenings with the Diddy trial because they did resume this week and we have a little more testimony to go over. I do want to shout out my big baby's best friend and his brother and all the rest of the new subbies. I do appreciate you guys. I appreciate your support. I appreciate the love. He didn't tell y'all that he almost got fired because of his antics, but we're gonna give him one more chance, you guys. We're gonna give him one more chance to get it right. He's brand new. He's brand new, and it's okay. And mostly it's me with the laughing. I will calm down and I will handle myself. I do have a hearty laugh, so what can you do? But I will calm down. However, this is just me and we move. Let's talk about the Diddy case. I do want to say before I start, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you be part of the Beautiful People family. And like the video, you guys, it does wonders for the analytics, algorithm, all of that. All right, let's get to the case. So let's go over a couple things that we know real quick. So we know that Dawn finished her testimony Monday. I don't think we learned anything else really from her, except for the fact that she was kind of threatened. She kept working with him because she was scared. She was intimidated. That's fine. We also found out that Aubrey O'Day will not be testifying, and a lot of people were upset about that because we know Aubrey O'Day has been one of the main people coming out criticizing Diddy and saying that he's a monster. She's been saying it since day one. And that's basically, she kind of alluded to it on Twitter saying, I've been saying this forever. I don't need to testify. But a lot of people, like I said, are upset about it because they wanted to hear what she had to say. And it's like, girl, you're finally getting your chance to tell what you've seen and what he's done. And now you don't want to say anything. Mum's the word. But that's up to her. I mean, I don't know if they even called for her to say anything. But it's fine. I feel like they'll be able to get him without her testimony. It's fine. They also had a meme, well, not a meme, but a thing going around on Instagram stating that we really need to hear from Farnsworth Bentley. I don't know why I have such a hard time saying that name. But yeah, I agree. He's the one that would know where the bodies are buried. And I say that allegedly, and I'm just kidding, a little tongue in cheek. But am I really? Maybe there's real bodies? I don't know. But I do feel like he would know exactly what's going on. He was with him for years, working very closely with Diddy. So I do think he would know some things. All right, we are going to just go past the fact that her best friend, Cassie's best friend, testified and stated that she saw him, and I guess she tried to intervene. You guys, I'm not clear on it. I remember reading about it, but now I can't remember exactly what happened. But I do know that she ended up getting choked out by Diddy and he threatened her. He did pay her some money. Did he pay her like 15, 20,000, 30,000, something like that? And then she went away forever. She was like, listen, girl, we are not best friends anymore. If you want to stay here for this madness, fine. So we moved from her. We found out that he ended up, when Cassie left for Kid Cudi, he ended up kind of extorting the parents, Cassie's parents, Diddy did, and telling them that, listen, I have this tape of your daughter being sexual and doing some things, and I'm going to release it if you guys don't give me $20,000. Now, $20,000 is nothing to Diddy. It's nothing, absolutely nothing. But to the regular person, which I'm assuming Cassie's parents were, because they ended up having to take out a HELOC and give the $20,000. They sent it to him, but said like 4 days later, he wired it back to them. So basically, he's just fucking with people, letting them know, this is what I could do to you. This is what I can do. So Diddy has so many problems. It's not even funny. But they didn't want to cross-examine the mom. And I mean, it makes sense. What else do you want to put her through? What else do you want to ask her? What else does she really know? Like, we're done with her. That's fine. Then we find out, the not bodyguard, he was the assistant. The assistant was testifying to all of the drugs that Diddy was doing, the Percocets and all this stuff. And apparently, this fool put Percocets in the assistant's name. He didn't even know. He said he was going to pick up drugs for him from the pharmacy, and the shits was in his name. And they were like, "Did you even know?" He's like, "Yeah, no, I didn't know. Like, I don't recall giving him permission to use my name, but basically it is what it is." And then we find out that he stopped working with Diddy once there was this whole altercation with Suge Knight, and they kind of went and did like a mount up type of thing where everybody was getting guns and everything. And he said, and that is when I realized that and he said Diddy had like 3 guns, and we know that they found all these rifles and everything when they did the raid, so it tracks. um but he said that, yeah, he felt like his life could be in danger, and he's like, listen, I'm out. I'm gonna give a 6 month notice, and I'll train the next person, but I gotta get out of here. So smart move. We then talk to the biggest thing is that we talk to the Punisher, which is one of the escorts. Now let's talk about the fact that they put out the pictures of some of the escorts, you guys. What? What? Like, they are releasing these people? That's crazy to me that these people have families and everything, and now you are tied to this shit as an escort. Bananas. And that's just so rude. That's just so rude. Like, I would hate that. But I will say this: they were not unattractive men. They were decent guys. I mean, not to say that anything made it okay what she was going through, but I did think that maybe she was doing it with some old nasty people or whatever. No, she had attractive men. So, not to say that that made everything okay for her, because it didn't. Once again, nothing made it okay. But there's that. We move. Let me just get on out of there. So we hear from the Punisher, and he was described as being very well put together. The newscaster said he had on a whole suit with a tie and everything. I said, well, that is a whole suit, right? So they said he was well spoken, he was well put together, and he was saying that when he was first called upon, he was told that he needed to come and set a sexy scene with Cassie. He was told that it was a married couple. He did not know who they were. He said Diddy would wear like the garments that Muslim women would wear, where you could only see his eyes. And he would sit in the background and kind of give them direction. And he would say, like, move this way, move that way. He said the first time he was given $800 at first. And then when he was done, he was given an additional $1,200. He said that they basically, him and Cassie, for a long time was doing nothing but putting baby oil. He said it was a lot of baby oil, a lot of baby oil. And he used the word glistening as well. He said they had to stay glistening. And yeah, he said him and Cassie were just putting baby oil on each other for the longest time, and then it moved to something else. And he said eventually the husband, he kept calling Diddy the husband at first because that's who he thought he was. The husband would come out, and he would be naked, and he was pleasuring himself. He would have a bottle of Astroglide in his hands, and he was pleasuring himself. Eventually he said he did figure out pretty quickly on who they were. Cassie had on a wig. However, Diddy ended up at some point just wearing a baseball cap, and you could see his face. He said he was an Instagram follower and a fan of Diddy, so he knew who he was. He said everything was fine. He actually went there maybe 8 or 9 different times. He said he did not have a casual relationship with Cassie. However, he did feel like, or he thought that he was the only one being intimate with her in that way. And I said, oh my God, you have no idea. You really have no idea. Because he said it could last for hours. So I don't know that he was one that would be there for days and everything. He said hours. He did say that at a certain point, it was, I guess he was doing such a good job that Diddy came and threw a wad of cash on him and was like, I like that shit. And he said, I like that shit. But Diddy's voice. I like that shit. I like that shit. And then he said there was another time where he threw condoms at them or whatever, and he was upset because the guy couldn't perform and was like, I want to see you fuck her, and you can't get it done. So I guess he didn't get paid as much as he normally gets paid, which Cassie also said that, if they weren't doing and performing the way he wanted them to, then that would affect how much they were paid. And lastly, with the Punisher, we found out that they asked him if Cassie seemed like she, was being made to be there. He answered no, it didn't seem like she was being made to be there. However, she did, sigh a lot and would wince and seem very frustrated at the fact that he was giving lots of directions and everything. So he could tell that she was frustrated, but he did say that she didn't seem as though she didn't want to be there. However, he also stated that they were given drugs. He doesn't even do drugs or whatever, but there were drugs involved. Cassie said there's drugs involved. So if she was drugged up, there's just no telling. I'm shooting her some bail, I know. But again, it doesn't matter. Cassie got paid. She's not on trial. It's done. It's done. Her portion is done. Thank you very much for your services. That don't sound good. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that at all. But when the services, I meant like her testimony. You guys, that's the end of the trial update for the day. I don't know. Maybe I'll come back and talk about it daily if I have time. Probably not. Probably not. I don't know, but we'll see. Tory Lanez, you guys. I just want to say that I hate Tory Lanez. I fucking hate him. And I wish he would go somewhere. Like, seriously, leave this girl alone. I'm sick of hearing about you. I am sick of him. I am sick of him with this. I was stabbed 14 times with two punctured lungs. However, miraculously, the same night, I was talking and fine. Fuck out of here, Tory. Just leave us alone. Leave us alone. Leave Meg alone. Yeah, I just had to get it off my chest because I really don't like him. I really don't like hearing about him. I don't like him at all. His face, his head, his height, his nothing. I don't like anything about Tory. All right, I have calmed down and I am no longer talking about Tory Lane, so we're good. If you are new to the channel, once again, please consider subscribing. It is absolutely free of charge, and I would love to have you. If you are still here, you are the real MVP. Thank you very much. You guys, it's so crazy not to have my baby in the background screaming, just screaming stuff when we get to this part. This is his favorite part of the whole thing. He knows it by heart. But I do appreciate you guys for being here. Subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Smooches.